Hello from Arizona. My name's Cal. I want to welcome you to Tough Trails. Okay. In this episode, we're going to finish this interior. Finally. Okay. We're going to install this touchscreen stereo right here. We're going to add some switches, move some things around, do our door panels, both sides, as you can see here, and wrap this series up. All right, cool. Let's get her going. In this episode, we're going to modify our control panel here, and we're going to move our elements down, and we need to make room for a touchscreen stereo system. And that's what we're going to do in this episode, okay? Okay, so I don't want to get too far ahead and not take any video. So I'm going to take some video right now. Might not use it, but at least I'll have it if we go this way. But basically, what I need is 4 inches. 4 inches is going to take me right about there. And that's what I need. So what's in the way is our control panel here. So my idea is to take the screws out, which I've done, and I'm going to kind of force it back through and see if I can't get it to come out here. This is where the stereo was sitting at. I would rather have, because this new touchscreen stereo system has got GPS features on it and a bunch of other stuff, I would rather have it as high on my control panel as possible. I don't want my eyes to go that far off the road looking down here, say. So I want to be able to see up here. It's going to be right there. I can just glance from the steering wheel over, you know, and do that. So what I'm trying to do is I might have to force this a little bit. I might bend a couple of things that I can straighten back out. But I'm going to try to get this control panel here with all these levers and cables on it to push back inside and come out here. Okay? And then that's going to give me all kinds of room that I could cut this out and modify it to hold this new stereo system. Okay? So that's just want to keep you in the loop there. I'll try to make more of these videos as we go. Okay, so I got it to drop down, but I bent these controls, and I'll be able to just straighten those back out, and we'll get it to fit back through our little panel here. But what we lost was the ability back here to open and close that vent back there. So once I figure out what the hell it is, I'm going to either position it open or I'm going to position it closed, okay? So anyway, I just want to show you what's going on and what you're going to sacrifice if you move it down. Okay, so I'm going to bend these back. I'm going to try to drill some mounting holes here and get that to mount back up. But I've got a little bit of straightening to do with this metal to get it in position. Okay. All right, so there you go. So we have this moved down in position. We've got everything lined up where it's going to go again. And it leaves me these slots right here. So I need 4 inches. So am I cutting this? Well, regardless, I got to cut that. Whether I set it here and put toggles on top, or I set it up high and put toggles underneath, which I think it'd be better, toggles underneath. So I've already marked it. You can barely see it. There's a little mark right there and right there. And that'll give me my 7 inches across that I need. And then it'll squeeze in. And I'm going to probably leave it flush here. I like that. I don't want it reset. So anyway, I'm still engineering this and thinking about how I'm going to do this. So, because I'm probably going to have to cut this out for sure to make this line up. Because I intentionally pushed it all the way to the bottom down here because I needed room, because I have a plate. And that plate's got switches on it and, you know, charger outlets and, you know, a starter button and a starter button. So there's a lot of stuff I got to do to it still. So I might have to go cut up a door or something, because I need a piece of flat metal. And I might just cut me out a piece here out of the flat metal. So we'll see. Okay, anyway, there we go. You know, since you're sitting here looking at this screen while I'm sitting here thinking. All right, anyway, you're up to date. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I really hate doing this, but because this door panel is already damaged, you know, and as as rare as these geo-trackers, the Suzuki Sidekicks are getting, especially this JLX that had all the power windows and stuff on it, I need some of this material. So I'm going to cut out some of this material. I'm going to destroy a salvageable door panel because I need a place to mount a new stereo system and some toggle switches. So I'm going to end up cutting this right out of here. And that's what we're going to use for the backing of our stereo. So yeah. Okay, all right. All right, so I'm about to cut more. So I found the center right here. I measured over and split it because I need 7 inches for this stereo to fit in there. That's this guy, okay? Now I just found an old CB mount that I might be able to use to mount it, and then I'll mount it from the top up here where I've got this CB mount at, and ideally. So that's the plan right now. So I'm about to cut. I just want to take you through every step of this as I can, because this may be a complicated installation, and you know what, it may not fail, and this may be video that never sees the world. Okay, so I'm using the Sawzall here to do it. I've already made that one cut that you can see right there, and I'm going to do this, but I gotta have 2 hands. I just wanted you to see what kind of equipment or tools I was using. So yeah, I'm gonna need 2 hands to keep this online. All right, so you can see we made our cuts, and it's just pressed in there right now. That's how close we made the cuts, and that's probably what you want to do if you want to try this, okay? And then I've got room under here for my switches. I got room under here for my switches, I believe. And I could bring it to right about here or more if I needed to, because I'm gonna have to do something here to get rid of this fugliness. So all right, anyway, I'm just trying to make sure that you see everything that I'm doing. If this ends up being something that you want to try to do yourself. Okay, all right. Okay, now I just made cuts here and here because this is kind of at an angle here, and I want to go up as much as I can because I need the room beneath the stereo. Okay, I got to make sure that's going to fit my switches, so I need to go up about 1/16 of an inch. So I cut that to give me a little bit more flexibility. Okay, and then there's another test cut. So see, by cutting those corners up there on the top, I've got 1 inch down here, maybe 1 1/16 inch, 1 1/16, but that's kind of how it's going to go. So now I'm going to make mounts for it and figure out a way to mount it in there. It's very lightweight, so this isn't some big old heavy thing. So and it is cut so close in there that it's squeezed in there right now. I'm telling you, this thing is not moving at all already. But I'm going to make some mounts for it, and we're going to figure out how to mount it. Okay, so we're moving on. Sorry it's so ugly, but sometimes it starts out that way. Okay, now this is how I do it. You do it however you want to do it, but I'm making a template. You see here, I've got a template that fits in there. I mean, perfect. I've sat here and trimmed on this for probably 15 minutes, just taking a hair off at a time to make that work, because I'm going to transfer this over to that fiber board and I'm going to cut it. And it's got to be, you just don't get too many chances at this. So that's how it's going to go. I'm going to come up on here a little bit, but other than that, that's just about it. But I just wanted to see that. So it made me a perfect template so I can go cut this out and make sure everything fits right, okay? Okay, so then once you have your template, you come in here and you lay your template out. Now you can trace out your template, because that's where you got to cut, okay? And you got to, you know, this is an old door panel. It's ripped up here. See, it's all ripped. It's trashed. But there's not a whole lot of chances to repeat this, okay? So don't screw it up, okay? So make it precise. Figure out how you're going to cut it and what you're going to cut it with. And you're going to take this material off, or you're going to cut through it. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep it? You're throwing it out? What's the deal? So anyway, there we go. So we made our template, and now we're going to trace it out. Okay, so we took our template and we transferred it to this door panel, this broken door panel. We cut it out, and then we fine-tuned it And there it is. And that fits absolutely perfect in there, okay? Just take your time when you do this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make little ear mounts for our stereo and figure out how to mount them, okay? We'll look at that next. Okay, so now what we're gonna do with the stereo is we're gonna make little ears on it that can mount on the side of the stereo and then catch right here on each side, okay? And here, back in here, see it? So those ears, we want those ears to catch right there, and that's how we're gonna mount it. We're gonna mount it right to there. The thing's very lightweight. It's smashed in here real snug. It's gonna have a cover over it that's a snug fit, and you're gonna have ears mounting it right here, okay? So you wanna make sure that you estimate or actually measure this. This is about 1.5 inches from there, and you want it to come out about another 1/4 of an inch because the stereo has a little fascia that goes around it, a little ring that goes around it, hides any of your terrible cutting and stuff, thank goodness. So that's on there. So you got about 1 inch, maybe 1 5/8 inches is what you're really looking at. But again, this is just me. You might do it differently than I'm doing it, but just want to catch up on that. But another important thing is that because that stereo hits right up in here, you want to measure down because you don't want those ears to interfere here. You're just going to end up having to do it again. So you want to make sure that your ears come in underneath this, right in here. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going for right there. And that's what we're going to make work, just like that. Okay, cool. All right, so there's that's what it looks like when it's lit up. That's the screen on it, you know, for just your stereo. I've not played with it a lot yet. I'm just getting it wired up and in place, and I've got a little bit more detail work to get it mounted permanently. But just want to give you an update. There you go. All right, so that's what it looks like at night. Got the hood open. It's pretty dark out here, but that's the new touch screen right there. So it's kind of cool. So anyway, just wanted to see that. Okay, let me see if I can touch it, if it do something. There we go. Yep. Sweet. That's the night mode. There's stereo. Yeah, pretty good. All right, anyway, just wanted you to see that. All right, guys, so there we go. What do you think? So it's pretty cool, actually. I still got to play with it. I don't know everything that it does, so we'll figure it out. But I like the fact that it's all touch tone, that kind of stuff. You can set the time, the steering wheel. Oh, that's right, it comes with a steering wheel thing too. So I've got to figure that out. So, man, go back home and go back to stereo. So, all right. Anyway, that's not so bad. You know, this is a geo tracker, and it's just not so bad. So, anyway, a little trimming right here maybe. Now, this area right here is going to have toggles in it, small switches, like these guys, say. So they'll go down in here, and there's going to be an engine start button right here in the middle. Engine start button right there. So when she's in, we made this out of a door panel. It's nice and soft and padded. So I like it. Certainly is different. So I still I'm gonna clean this panel off a little bit more, and I gotta mount it. But that's done. So clean it up. Oh, and we got this right here, which is it's a USB charger port. So if you're doing cameras, your cell phones, those kinds of things can charge up right there. So, but anyway, I wanted you to see that. So on to the next thing. See, you can see how this mounts. See, it's just a strap is all it is, okay? And now you can mount it on the left side if you prefer. And really all you have to do is reposition this right here. So if you look at the bottom, you can see the slots. There's like an L slot, see it there? Look at my finger's a background there, see it? That ugly thumb, which I got from taking the fuel tank out of this, by the way. Thank you for asking. If you flip it around, see, it won't fit. So this way, you know, it won't go on this side. So But anyway, that's all you got to do. So see, this is no good for right hand. You got to flip it like this. And that way you have your L's. See them? Okay, cool. There you go. And then once you have that mounted on there, and you've got your strap adjusted for your steering wheel, and you've got these two little guide marks on the side right here, and they're going to go right down these right here. So stick that on. Try to do it with one hand. There we go. And there you go. And that's it. Just like that. There you go. Push your buttons, menu, power buttons, those kinds of things. Okay? And that all works. All right? All right, cool. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're applying the olive oil to the vinyl to try to rejuvenate it, get some more years and some more life out of it. And it doesn't take much, you know. Some people are going to use an Armor All or some kind of a detailer of some kind or something like that. But I prefer extra virgin olive oil. That's my preference. So, and that's going to bring it back. So, okay. So we are just about done with this interior. There's a few detail things to do, and this is one of them. All right. We'll keep you in the loop. Alrighty then. All right, so there you go. You got the steering wheel back on and back in, cleaned up pretty nice. We put our olive oil on here, brought all these surfaces back out, looking pretty good. Okay, on to the next thing. Okay, so what's going on here is these are the grab handles from the back of the tin top, and we're going to use those as door handles for the doors. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the doors, finish the electronics, put the switches back on, those kinds of things. And that's the, and then these are going to be both armrests and a door handle. This is a second set of door handles that I took off of a parts car in the backyard. So what I'm going to do with these right here, because they're not in that great a condition. They look okay on film, but they're not in that great of condition. So these are going to go back in the tin top in the original location of the grab handles where these came off of. So actually we'll be using all four of these in the tin top, okay? So I want to give you a heads up. They've been cleaned up, wiped down, sanded, and painted. There you go. Okay, and then here in the back, because we have an extra set of grab handles now, we painted those black and we put them back in the spot. So on both sides, so there you go. That got done. So, all right, slowly piecing it together. All right. All right, so we're gonna start putting these door panels back together. Already got the latch in there. So, but now we're gonna put our handle on. Remember this handle we're gonna put on? It's gonna go right about here, okay? But let me see if I can show you here. So here's the deal. So you're gonna line up. It's gonna be hard to do. Anyway, we'll try to do it like this since I only have two hands. So if you'll notice the white fitting on the right, that one stays in position. You have a center one which is a little bit lower, then you have one to the left, okay? That one to the left needs to move over left to that 1 inch spot, 1 inch to the left, okay? So now you get two chances at this. And I say two chances because if you don't have any of these fittings, you're gonna have to take these fittings out and reinstall them in that last position. Here's what you need to consider. This little piece of plastic fitting has been in your ride for 30 to 35 years, getting hot and freezing and hot and freezing and hot and freezing for 30 to 35 years. It is one hell of a brittle piece of plastic. So be very, very careful. You got two chances to move one of these and get it in that spot. If not, you're gonna have to come up with an alternate solution. So here we go. Our door panels here in a few minutes. And before we do that, we have to be able to mount our switch plates because I don't know the name of them. I'm sure there's a cool name for it and stuff. But see, in the original door panels, they allowed for these little nipples here to go through, and there was a little ring on the other side that held them in place, and then you would mount your switch, your little rocker switches right in here, and away it would go, and it would work everything that you needed to, door locks and windows up and down and those kinds of things. So we've changed those, and now we have a different door panel. Because we have a different door panel, they're going to mount differently. So what you got to do on those is you got to cut those nipples off so that it fits or sits flat and mounts flat against your new door panel before you put your switches in. So I don't know if we're going to paint these or not. I might just put some virgin olive oil on them. They're still pretty nice. Sadly, one was damaged during disassembly, but not a big deal. But anyway, that's what we're going to work on next, is getting these mounted back up, wrapping up the door panels, and we're just about done with this thing. So moving on, okay? Okay, so the way we're going to mount these switch modules is we're going to come down here 4.5 inches from the top, 4.5. We're going to come in 6 inches. So that's going to put it right about there. So I'm going to mark it. I'm not sure I'm going to have them flat or I'm going to put them at an angle. I'm not sure. Angle looks like it might work better. Yeah, might do that. A little bit of an angle. That actually works for me. So, okay, anyway, but when you do that, what you need to do is you need to pay attention to what's going on under here. See, damn, how do I do this? Okay, if you'll notice, shit, how do you point to something when you only have 2 hands? Okay, so let's do this. See how this is recessed? That's where you want these wires to lay. You don't want these wires to lay up here. You're going to have a big bump in your door panel, okay? But this is really the surface that we're going to drill and mount into. But as you can see, there's already something mounted to it. So you got to be careful. Don't use too long screws. That's probably a damn, that's your motor right there for your window. So please be really careful when you're drilling into this, okay? Because you could destroy a power window motor doing this, okay? So keep your cables below this. You're going to cut a slit through the door panel and you're going to feed your wires through. But you only need to feed that one piece through. That's it. That piece hanging, this one right down here. That's the one you need to feed through, okay? Because that's the one that clicks to your switch, all right? Okay, and there it is. So it's in, it's mounted. Now I've got to put the tabs in here and around the bottom, and this side is done. Okay, cool. Okay, so when you put your fasteners in, just kind of find your hole, see it down there in the bottom. All right, and then just remember kind of where that's at, make a visual of it. Feel if you want. Right there, see, perfect. All right. Pop your screwdriver out. Put the first part of your fastener in. And put your lock in. That's it. And you're done. Easy peasy. All right, guys. We're gonna do just a little walk around here. And this interior, for all intents and purposes, is done. I got a couple of electrical things I got to do and a couple of switches I need to put in, but I've got to engineer those still. So, but you know, we got our flags in, we got our bulkhead, which converts as a sleeping platform. We've got our storage deck on here. We've got our box, which came out, you know, really, really nice, as you can see. So, and it has a kitchen built into it. So it's got the kitchen, it's got the sink. There's goes your sink like that. There's your sink. And this is actually an organization bag in there. We still got to figure out what to do back here, how we're going to pack that. So door panels, they're done. The electrical switches are back in, even on that side over there. That's all wrapped up. Seats are in. Oh, look at that underneath there. I need a little bit more olive oil in there. We got us a pretty cool stereo. It's a touch screen. Does a lot of things on it. Has a lot of features. I'll probably do a separate video on that one at some point. But it's all in there and it's all looking pretty good. This is just a lockable storage box where you can put like a weapon or something in there, or sensitive items, or your wallet, or cameras, or radios, or recording devices, or a laptop, or, you know, metal detector, that kind of stuff. So, and that locks up. We got a great big 600-watt speakers back in there. So this interior is done. I got to get me a couple of, they're broken right here, so I need a couple of those, and I'll do that. And my dome light, I've got the housing for it, but it's not coming on, so I got to figure that out. But it's time to move on. We spent way too much time on this interior. So, but And that's it. That's a wrap. Interior's done. Okay, let's move on to the next chapter. All right, cool. Listen, I really want to say thank you for watching this video all the way through, and all of our videos. And I hope you get something from it, some entertainment value, or you learn a few things, or just fill some time, you know. And if you do like it, appreciate it if you would like it and share it and subscribe it. You know, tell your friends about it. But we appreciate you very much. We just wanted to say so. Thanks for watching our programs. Thank you.